All right, you guys, we have a very special guest right now. And, you know, the old saying, the show must go on. She had a little accident. She's in a cast, but she said, Dr. Bill, I would never cancel on you. And she is here in all her glory. And let me tell you a little bit about Bev. In an acting career that spans 45 years with over 207 appearances in films and television series alone, Beverly D'Angelo has received Critics' Choice accolades, industry nominations, an Emmy, Golden Globe, Satellite Awards in drama and theater, and a CMA Award for her singing performance. Who knew? Also, the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice nomination for Favorite Actress as Ellen Griswold in the Vacation films, where she partners with Chevy Chase as Clark, who's the head of the Griswold family, a family whose adventures always seem to go awry, but always have a happy ending. Most notably, Christmas Vacation is a film that over time has become part of so many of our family's holiday celebrations. And by now, the Griswold family is a touchstone of our very culture. We all seem to identify with these characters, seeing ourselves in them, feeling their failures, and laughing along with their successes as they strive for the perfect vacation. Let's see a quick little video clip.
Ma, I saw some detour signs.
I didn't see any.
I saw them when you and Mom were trying to fold the map.
Audrey, when they close the road, they put up big signs, like this one.
I think I broke my nose. I stabbed my brain.
It's made my life so beautiful. And every time that I'm full of loving.
Look, Mrs. Ellen Griswold.
Ellen.
Holy crap, Wayne Newton's hitting on Mom.
It's all part of the act, Russ.
Now you. No one else.
Well, I think we know who sent the dress.
You're very lucky. I've been to every Wayne show for the last 15 years, and I've never seen him do anything like this.
All right, let's give it up for Bev D'Angelo. You have 207 movies. She wants a little thing to put her foot up on. Can we organize that, Charlie? All right. And Tyler, can you put up my questions, please?
By the way, if you ever want to really experience, really want to understand what it's like for people in wheelchairs, I've never even broken a bone. And I got in this wheelchair because I'm supposed to keep off this foot, and it's ridiculous how I even did it. I'm not even going to tell you. But it's ironic that I wanted to be here to offer some guidance for everybody to find their own way. And I did this because I wasn't watching where I was going.
Yeah. By the way, when I told Beverly about LEAP, she actually asked me if she could come and be here with you guys. So let's give her a hand for that. So, Bev, at what point in your life did you decide you wanted to become an actor?
It certainly wasn't my first choice. I'd call myself a troubled teen, actually, even though I had, like, you know, I grew up in Columbus, Ohio. I had a really stable family life, but there was just something in me. It was like a fire, and I didn't fit in. in that landscape. And so by the time I was 17, I didn't even have a formula. I wanted to be an artist. That's as specific as I could get. I had studied art in Italy. I took my portfolio, got a job. My first job was working as at the Hanna-Barbera Cartoon Studios in Hollywood. That's how I came here. And then, you know, it was a wild kind of time in life, and I was just, my eyes were so wide open. I just was eating life. I would try anything. I didn't even know what the word no meant because I think I'd heard it so much as a kid. It's like, yes, 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 oh, that. And then I was a singer, and my singing career got kind of shortcut because of some pretty dramatic situations in my life. And I joined a repertory company doing a musical, not really acting.
But what was your first acting gig?
The musical I was doing in Canada was taken to Broadway. It closed right away, and the world of films opened up to me. I did not aspire to be an actress. I didn't think that was the way that I would express myself, but that was the door that opened. And my hand was held by some real geniuses in the film industry. So I learned how to act, not in the theater, but I did study opera a little bit, which, you know, gave me like the concept of mixing emotions and expression with the words. But yeah, it was through film, and that medium kind of made it. So then, by that time, I was like 24.
But I think you said that when you were doing hair, you really felt like the director kind of took you under his
That's what I
wing
was talking about, because
and really taught you how to act to the camera, right?
He did. So, because that's a different kind of acting, and I don't mean to make this all about acting. I don't know if people are aspiring to that in this room, but
anybody
okay,
interested
anybody
in
have an
acting?
interest?
You got some.
Well, my path as an actress hasn't really been, you know, the kind of path that's encouraged. Like people are encouraged to study, and I didn't. You know, it was kind of instinctive, but I was led by people who recognized in me what I couldn't recognize in myself. And the reason that I wanted to be here, as soon as Bill explained to me that this is a mentorship kind of program, was that everything that I've done is because I've loved someone, including acting, because these great directors said, I see something in you. You can do this. Let me show you how. Here's an editing room. Here's the medium. Here's that. And so I was really nurtured, and it all along the way. And I think that one of the reasons that my life has been so magical and that I've had these kind of great experiences where just even when things are awful, something great happens, it's because of my I guess I couldn't avoid it. I guess it's in my nature, but it's also been a conscious choice to live my life authentically and to be my authentic self. And what does that mean? It's not just about acting. It's about understanding what you really want and what you really need. Because when you understand that, it resonates.
Yeah, let me tell you something really powerful. You get to choose who you want to be. Nobody else. Nobody else out there. Your parents, your friends, there's nobody out there who can tell you who you are. You get that choice. And when you do what Bev is saying and you live authentically, that's your gift that you get. And when you are old enough to realize that you have that power, it's the most liberating thing.
It really is. It really is. I mean, it's taken me a long time, but once because I went through, I lost my best friend and a bunch of friends in a really short period of time, and I'd never felt regret in my life. And this happened fairly recently. This happened about 6 years ago. Never felt, I was so lacking in regret that I would get this feeling that was kind of like anxiety, but it wasn't quite that, and I couldn't define it until I finally went, oh my gosh, because I was thinking about my professional life, and I was thinking about my the things that I hadn't done, and the opportunities that I didn't take, and thinking like, well, why did I shy away from that? Why did I move to Italy right a month after I was in the biggest hit film in the States? Why did I not come back when I was nominated for an Emmy? Why did I kind of disregard that? And I realized that this feeling of regret was inappropriate. I investigated it, and I really thought about it, and I had a mentor. I had a guide who really, he walked me through it, you know, and I realized that my choices were always valid for me because the things that I chose in life were the relationships. And I lost all sense of regret because I saw very clearly that, you know, my career, professional things that I'd done were really offshoots of the relationships that were nurtured on my behalf and that I nurtured. So the things that didn't feel right to me, it was okay. And they didn't feel right to me because it didn't speak to me, because I think that the real success is based on this sense of fulfillment that you can have in knowing that you are doing what you're meant to do. And that has a lot to do with locating what you want to do.
Totally,
you know?
totally. And that's all on you. You get to choose.
No pressure.
You get to choose who you want to be. And I'll tell you something, when you actually believe that of yourself, it's the most empowering thing ever because nobody can take that from you. So let's go back. You're 17, you leave home.
That was 1,000 years ago.
You fit right in,
71.
right? Right? You fit right in when you were 17. You felt like you were part of everything.
When I came to
right?
California, I did because I was proactive, because I left somewhere. And so I was just, you know, it was like a little resonating thing. And yeah, I felt empowered. I wasn't afraid. I just wasn't afraid because I was making a choice. And every time that something great has happened in my life, it's because I've been proactive about something, even stuff that I failed at. You know, it's about that feeling of proactiveness. It's about that feeling of like, okay, I want that. I'm going to audition for it, and that's going to be, you know, if I get it, I get it. But if I don't, it's okay because that moment I'm going to have an audience to see what I can do, and that's what I want.
So you have this career, and it's growing, and it's growing, and you do the movie
it's getting
Hair,
out of control.
And in the early '80s, you kind of changed your life. You married a man, you moved to Italy, and you had like this cushy life of luxury that anybody would be really happy with, right?
Yes.
What happened?
Well, I mean, on a material level, yeah, there was a lot of that. I fell in love with a student at USC. I'm glad that you guys are fun and from all over the place, right? So if I mention another college, it's like, okay, nobody's going to go, boo.
We have a few Trojans here.
Boo, boo. So he was a student at USC, and I really hadn't, the films that I'd made hadn't come out yet. And he was a Duke. He wasn't young, but he was a Duke. And I like shifted my base to Italy, but because I'd been I was like sitting in a living room, kind of set up a salon, and the phone rings, and my friend said, "Hey, you're in the #1 movie this weekend," and it was Vacation. So I'm not even living in Hollywood when that happened, but I did for a long time just do whatever was offered to me, but I was based there, and then I fell in love with somebody else. I told you. Everything I've done is because I love someone. And I moved to Ireland. But you said, I'm getting off track. You said...
yeah, I mean, a lot of
how
people
did that
would
go
say, you know, here you have this cushy life. You're married to Italian royalty. You could have anything in the world you wanted, and you were miserable.
I didn't want...
that
I couldn't, I mean, like my inside voice is really loud to me. I just can't ever get away from it. And I just, the materialism, I kind of wish it would. I wish that materialistic thing would click in, but it just never has. And
But
I
that's
wanted I
okay.
wanted a good relationship. I wanted love. I was in an environment where I was kind of treated like, I think my mother-in-law thought I had like a dog act in Tijuana or something. I don't think that she really got that, an acting profession is a good one. No one had even worked in that family for 3 generations. I can't even describe it. But that wasn't where I was at. I wanted to express myself, and I wanted the expression of myself to be met. I wanted I can't live as a non-creative. That's just me. I can't translate it into any kind
So
of
how'd you
mature
get
thing.
back in the game?
Well, that's only happened recently, but what do you mean? No.
You left Italy.
Oh, God, Bill, my life is so long and so convoluted that was one of the reasons I didn't even know what to say to you guys, because I don't have a formula for success, except, to thine own self be true. Because I really do believe that that's the key of everything. But I continued to work always. Got a lot of accolades for, Coal Miner's Daughter all the way up to American History X and Entourage. And, I kept at it. But I had kids at a very late age. My kids.
Well, in your late 40s,
Yeah.
she met Al Pacino from The Godfather.
I have.
And you had 2 kids with him.
Yeah, I have 22-year-olds. So I live in this really weird kind of multi-generational metaverse, Thank God, because my son's a computer science major, and he has a little video game company. And my daughter's actually on her gap year, which if she's anything like me, she will be permanently. That's been going on for a while. But I really stepped back when I had my kids because I had them at a very late stage of the game. And 3 years after I had them, I didn't have them forever because I didn't even want to have kids for a long time because I didn't want to do it on my own. I was raised, as I said, in a really intact family. I didn't get the idea of single motherhood. I wanted to do it with somebody. So when I met Al and he said, I want you to be the mother of my children, I was like, oh, okay.
And you had a really long courtship with him, right?
Anyway, so what happened was I called up Lorenzo. I say I'm in love. I think this is time. We got to get a divorce. He goes, divorce? Why? And I said, well, he's, I think he wants that too. And he said, well, who is this person? Who is this actor who does not understand how perfect our relationship is? Who is this? I said, well, he's kind of famous. He went, who is he? And I said, it's Al Pacino. And he goes, oh, Al Pacino, he's fantastic. We divorce. So it's true, absolutely true. So I divorced Lorenzo, and I was just totally in. Again, everything I've done is because I love someone, and I did all this stuff to give birth at age 49. And I'm bringing this, no, applaud modern science, modern medicine. But you said
That had to have changed your career a little bit, being a mom at 49.
It wasn't just my career, it was the fact that then I became a single mother, quote unquote. I really don't believe in that term, by the way, because again, it's all about relationships. You're never really alone. And Al and I were co-parents, and I had friends, and people come in, So I'm trying to, this is a really long way to answer that question, how did you get back in the game? Because it's relevant.
Go for it.
Okay, I'm trying to get there. So now I'm on my own. I'm not in the intact family that I grew up in the Sunnybrook Farm in Columbus, Ohio. And it was challenging. And the only way that I know how to love and nurture is really, honestly, 100% in. As far as being a parent, for me, it was about being emotionally and physically available, or the kids having at least one parent that's emotionally and physically available at all times. So when I was working, the kids would be with me. And he works a lot. He's one of our greatest artists. And I accommodated the fact that I needed to have this kind of presence for my kids. I needed that. I wanted to do that. So I started saying no to things like big things, and then they stopped asking me. So I was in Entourage, did some like little independent ones that were close by that I didn't have to leave for a long amount of time, or that I could do when the kids were with their dad. But then in the summer of 2021, when it was my last beat with my daughter, who had to have some surgery that we had been planning on for a long time, I'm up in Santa Barbara with her, and it's very quiet. I'm just I'm taking care of her and waiting for her to wake up, and she was in a recovery process. And I felt it. I felt that thing that I felt when I was 14 years old, and it was like, I gotta say something. I gotta reach out. I gotta connect on a human level beyond just the people that I overtalk to. I want to be an artist. I want to translate my experience and my feelings to my skill set and my talent and get back there. And then all of a sudden, honestly, in the fall of 2021, it started to happen. And people that I'd known, the producers, directors, other actors, brought me into things, and I worked a lot. I now have I'm in 4 films that are coming out in the next year and a half. Now there's a strike right now. Oh yeah, but you know why I took all that long way to get to this? I started with the idea of this regret that I felt when I had a lot of loss, and trying to figure out my way out of that, and realized that really I was alleviated from that regret by realizing that it's the relationships in my life that have made all the difference. What I'm talking about now, when you said, how did you get back in the game? I'm not really in the game. I'm not, I couldn't call up somebody and say, hey, let's make a movie about Bill, because I'm not in that position, and now there's a strike too. But I'm there, and it's happening. Again, there's a strike, but that's because I know I need that, and I know I want it. And the same way that if you make an appointment to go to lunch with somebody, say you make an appointment to go to lunch with somebody at 1 o'clock, and then somebody says, hey, can you come over at 10:30 and do this thing? It'll just take a few hours. You say no to that, because what's on your mind is that you want to meet that person at noon. And I think it works the same way with your heart's desire, that if you really, really locate that, and you really, really locate who you are, your soul, your brain will kind of calibrate things so you don't miss the opportunity. You'll see it. You'll find the people.
We're going to do something I've never done before.
Are you going to hypnotize me?
No.
Okay.
Better.
I want to be hypnotized.
Luke Wells, come here a second. This is a young man. His dad is one of my best friends. I just watched Luke do something he never thought he was going to do. He was one of the lead actors in his school play, and he was amazing. Give it up for Luke, you guys. Luke, meet my friend Beverly. Have a seat here.
How are you doing?
Good, nice to meet you.
I feel this man has the gift. I've seen him on stage.
It's terrible.
No. I want you to give him the best advice you can give him. And you ask Beverly any questions you need to right now, because she has had a long and illustrious career in this. And I want you to actually just talk to Luke and give him advice for how to get started in acting.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
It's nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Brentwood, Tennessee.
Tennessee?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you fly all the way here?
Yes, ma'am. Me and my buddy, he's somewhere in the crowd, Carson.
There he is.
We flew up here in the morning at like 5.
So do you have vision?
You see, I've had a few people tell me I could do it, but just looking at it, it just seems like such a tough way to make a living if you're not excellent at it. If you know what I'm saying? If you...
Well, you know what? There's something... I remember when my kids were growing up, and I met parents who had children that wanted to be an actor, and they'd say, well, what should I tell my kid? He's 8, he's 9. And I always said the same thing. The entertainment industry is really rough, and it really does separate out people who want fame or who want to get something out of it. And it really comes down to desire that comes from you. So if you feel that need and desire within you, it's going to lead you. Do you want success? It's maybe it would help to define the terms of that success. Is what does success as an actor look like to you?
Huh.
Am I horrible?
Good question.
Tom Cruise.
Right. Tom Cruise.
I don't know. I guess just popularity of film. I mean, I don't know. Just being around people. A lot of people say I look like Rafe Cameron. So, I mean, I get that a lot. So, I don't know. I guess just based off of like how well people know you in like the realm of it, not as much like the financial success or like the connections you make, but popularity. I feel like is a big factor in that.
And what would the popularity be based on in your vision?
Like what I said, like
what you look like?
No, just like the way people recognize you, I guess.
Okay, well then let's talk a little about the acting, because you can get popular doing a million things.
Yeah,
There are a million ways to get popular. There are a million ways to get famous. You could have like a really, really calibrated Instagram or a YouTube channel or something, but let's talk a little bit about acting. How do you feel about acting? What's acting to you?
Just portraying a character that you can do. Like I think of like Lone Survivor with Mark Wahlberg, like the Marcus Luttrell, the dude who was like actually in it. How like Mark Wahlberg made it feel like you were like in the moment, like with them on Operation Red Wings. I don't know. I feel like it's the way that you can like captivate an audience with the way that you demonstrate who you are.
Well, have you taken any classes or anything like that?
I did one time.
How'd that go?
I don't know. It was different. It was a little weird for me.
What was weird about it?
I think it was just the way that they offered you to make expressions that I feel like just came naturally. I mean, I don't know. Not like naturally in a way of like, I'm good at it, but they were like, make a surprise face. And everybody was like, and I was like, well, I feel like that's just, I don't know. It was just the way that they asked me to do things. I was like, I feel like I don't need to have somebody tell me how to make a surprise face when you just like pretend that you're actually surprised.
Yeah.
You know, that makes sense at all.
So, where would you like to see yourself getting started in theater or television or film or in some part of the country, or how?
Well, I mean, I haven't thought that far, obviously, but just by the way I'm talking about it, but I don't know. I was in the musical. I'm not a great singer, but somehow I ended up with a role that I had to
What
sing
was the
for.
musical?
All Shook Up.
Okay.
So I played Dean. Yeah.
You played Elvis?
So I was not Elvis. One of my buddies was. But I was a guy named Dean.
Oh, and you're from Tennessee, so that was
I was
home state boy.
I guess so. But yeah, I don't really like musicals as much, just because it's more of like expressions and like putting on like a big show, opposed to like, I don't know, it's kind of funny. I was hoping I'd get to meet you at some point, because it's a family tradition every single year at the Wells household that we watch Christmas Vacation.
I know.
Like I know that's a common tradition.
So yeah.
But just like the way that you just like portrayed your character, it didn't seem like you were acting. And like I like television in the way.
I mean, to be honest, as I was kind of explaining, I backed into it. It wasn't something that I sought out. It was more something that opened up. In some ways, it was like the line of least resistance for a troubled teen, troubled kid who was, in kind of survival mode with opportunities and talent, and a need to express myself, And I think that that's really what it comes down to. That if it's something that you need, if you need to tell stories by embodying a character that a writer has written, and by using your imagination that's developed because of your own personal experience, you need to do that, then you're an actor, and you'll find your way. Because you just won't take no,
Yeah, that makes sense a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of sense.
And you're deep. You were a deep kid.
I'll take that as a compliment, the best I can, right? Compliment. But I've always wondered for like you, because I feel like I'm kind of in the same I was in the same situation. I feel like, I don't know, me and him talk about it a lot, me and my buddy Carson, about just like having a stable life and like
How you what?
having a stable life.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I wanted.
How do you do it?
Like I mean, yeah, but
It's hard.
But like, well, I don't know, like construction, like management, for example, is something that I really enjoy. I like being outside. I like working on things. And that's just like if you can be good at it and you can have a stable life, and if you're great at it, it explodes. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's very consistent.
Working in construction, yeah.
Like, I mean, like just any profession that is like
Yeah.
you can work your way up. But I feel
Yeah.
like acting is like if you're good at it, you go and like you're great. And I feel like I've been kind of taught.
Or sometimes not.
I mean, yeah. I've thought about that a lot.
You know,
but
or sometimes not. I mean, again, it just comes down to, what's in your heart and like really feeling it. And if you get lined up, I'm telling you, if you, Luke, if that's really in you, if that's your real heart's desire, you're not going to take no for an answer, and you'll find opportunities. They might be things you can't even imagine, but it has to do with really locating that, Like, do you come from a background, are there any actors in your family? You have friends that are actors or anything like that?
We're big into the music industry.
Really?
Yeah.
They're all musicians.
My dad.
So they're in show business then.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, my dad's the only like dentist. Like the only person that does something like normal, I guess.
He's what?
He's a dentist.
Your dad's a
Dad's
dentist.
the only dentist. So
Okay.
he just like.
But so-
Everybody in his family's in
Okay, but so people in your family are already in the entertainment business.
Yes.
So for you, you're just going, I don't want to do that. I think I want to act. Is that because you don't want to?
Well, we're not gonna lie, he can't sing.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not a great singer, so I kind of stray away from that
Okay.
particular part.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean,
But he's got
But you
great
want,
comedic
but
timing.
you've got the
No,
you've
Bev,
got the-
he has great comedic.
great.
I don't know what I have, but
Yeah,
I guess I'd have it based off of him. But I mean, I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy being around it. I enjoy like portraying a character that's not me, but I can like make it me.
Because the one thing, I mean, here's one thing I do. Again, I had a very unorthodox path myself, but, I have a niece who became same background, Columbus, Ohio, and my brother's kid, and she became a professional dancer at 16, an Irish dancer. She's in river dance and tours all around. And I've been saying to her for years, if you really want to act, get out here. And the value of studying really is to help you find your community. So that can really help. Can help you understand more about what you really want, and see more about what you want to get out of it. Because studying, going to acting classes, that can at least, you got it right when you say, what is this thing about making surprise faces? That's baloney, right? But there are really good acting classes, and even if they aren't, acting teachers, acting coaches are kind of like guides for you to access your thing. And but studying can put you in the community, of people who are looking at the same things and trying to get it the same way. And if one person in your acting class gets a job, guess what? You know somebody in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just connections, I feel like, is a big part of it.
Relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying
Not
to build
screwy ones, and not ones that you manipulate to get, but real ones. Because if someone really knows you, look at Bill. He really knows you. He's all for your success as an actor because he knows you.
Yeah, he's done a lot for us, and our family's very grateful for him and all he does for the community in Los
I love
Angeles.
Bill. He's the
and
greatest.
He's a good guy. He's been there since day one for me. So
Okay. Hey, good luck.
I'm not gonna waste y'all's time.
No, you didn't waste anything.
Hey,
Good
give it
luck.
up for Luke,
Good
you
luck.
guys.
Good luck.
Thank you, Miss Beverly. So good to meet you.
Good luck.
I'm not blowing smoke. I'm telling you, I have seen this kid on stage, and he is really, really good. And I've seen a lot of kids on stage that were not, that really weren't. And I really think this kid could do it. Did you have a question?
Yes.
That art is a necessity, not a luxury.
Yeah.
That art is essential.
100%.
As somebody who is an international actress, speaks 3 languages, I have found that acting is a way to connect millions of people.
Absolutely.
So when you said that, it struck a nerve that connection really begins with artistry.
It's vital. I mean, it's really. What's your first name again?
Sophia.
Okay, I don't want to cut you off, but I have so much to say about what you're saying. Keep going.
I think that's what I've been searching for. I did a lot of, in drama school, I studied a lot of techniques and
The skill set.
the skill set.
Yeah.
But I think what I really found to really touch my soul is traveling and, learning different perspectives.
Widening your library.
Yeah, and, being able to speak.
Because I think when you become an actor, everything becomes a library.
Yeah, everything.
Characters, people, experiences.
Yeah.
You're informing your emotions. You're
Yeah.
widening your soul. You're learning languages
Yeah.
that you can.
And
you're learning more about what it
Exactly.
is to be human.
Yeah, and I think more than my whole life, I haven't been searching fame. I've been searching for the human connection, which is the most important thing that I think that acting provides more than, glamour and fame. I think it's about connecting human beings together across the world, and whether that be through stage or film. So I'm 18, I'm a young actress, and I just created a song about human connection. So,
Are you going to sing it?
oh, do you want me to sing it right now?
Well, sure.
Yeah. Can you do it a cappella?
Yeah, I can acapella it.
All right, let's hear
Okay,
it.
this is called All or Nothing. I'm a little nervous, so I might be a little, okay.
Is there anything we can do to make you less nervous?
I don't know. I think.
Take a breath. We're right here for you.
Okay. Driving those hours, the radio's blasting my head. Thought of those words that you really said. I think I'm in love with you, my oh my. Museum paintings and picnics in front of the sun. Imagine this world would be much more fun. I love the idea of you and I. But it rained and it poured, and I was ignored. The silence from your lips said enough. I was on this quest to find us again, but in time you moved on to a better life. I am here, all for nothing, that's my life.
Yes. Sophia, yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. I can't believe you're crying. You made me cry.
Oh, and this is my
Absolutely
sister.
beautiful, and I love everything you said. I love your spirit. That's it, honey. That's it. You're right there. You've got it. And it will lead you, and it's going to lead you where it leads you, but it's undeniable. And I love, just to go back a little bit, I love when you said that you recognized it's a type of service, because an actor really is showing a writer what they've written, putting themselves forth, accessing their imagination that's based on their unique experience in life, their talent, their skill set, to translate telling stories through behavior in time, whether it's on film or on a stage. That's what we do, and we do it because we need to connect that way. And you've voiced it. Your voice is absolutely beautiful, and your
Beautiful.
courage is out of this world.
Yeah.
Because thank you for just not hesitating.
Yeah, thank you
Please.
for sharing.
Thank you, Sophia.
You know, you can sit down and say, oh, it's just acting. But entertainment is vital
It's the
to
artist.
humanity. It's vital to humanity.
It's always the artists that, if you read The Rise and Fall of the Roman Empire, 1 and 2, you will, what's highlighted again and again and again is that it's the writers and the musicians and the artists that brought everybody out of the dark ages, out of, post the play.
Yeah.
It's always the artists who shine a spotlight on those inner recesses that we investigate because we must, and illuminate for others to identify with, be guided by. I think that's why they call them stars, because on boats, you're out at sea when these sailors would be out at sea and they would guide themselves by the stars. And we have a desire to look up for guidance. We have a desire to figure out where we're going with these lights in the sky. And in some ways, I think that there's a lot of, like, if you call somebody a star, that doesn't necessarily mean they're a good actor, but it belongs in the language of entertainment, because there are those people who, in exposing their humanity filtered through a character, it speaks to yours and makes you larger. Even if it's just for a laugh, it lifts you. And it's vital. The arts are vital, absolutely vital. And it shouldn't be ever disregarded as anything less important than medicine.
Absolutely. All right, Bev, big question.
Or construction.
Or construction.
Yeah.
Big
For real.
question. What's next?
Well, right now we're striking, and it has very much to do with what Sophia was talking about, because Sophia, everything that she said and did really, and Luke too, validated the need, the human need for the arts and the involvement. And so what's going on with the writer's strike right now and the actor's strike right now is really a group of people saying this is a collaborative business, the entertainment industry. And there are a lot of people on the other side that are reaping big benefits financially from the work that we all do willingly on very different levels of economic success. But inside, it's really about expression and human connection, and we can't negate that. We have to value it. So when you say what's next for me, I'm waiting for these movies to come out.
Yeah, what's happened is, for those of you that aren't aware, the entertainment industry has changed radically. When we were kids, you had like 3 stations.
Right, 3 television stations.
Well, that's not the case anymore. You have streaming and this. And,
so many different platforms.
And there's a lot of platforms that are raking in hundreds of millions, billions of dollars, and they're not paying actors. And that's not okay. So the actors have been trying to negotiate. I'm a member of SAG as well. And,
You're so handsome.
No, because I'm
like
on
Luke.
TV. But our union has been trying to negotiate and get us fair wages, and they're not paying us, and it's not fair.
Well, they aren't paying. They aren't paying us. They aren't paying us in proportion to the wealth that they have access to, and in proportion to the amount. The percentage of the pie in this collaborative world of entertainment. And it's a tough time. I mean, audiences are changing, tastes are changing, where the talent from is changing, where it's going is changing. But this human connection is never going to change. And what Screen Actors Guild is saying, okay, how do we work this out moving forward? There's a lot of stuff with AI going on. Writers have it worse financially in a lot of ways, because they aren't getting the support to even be able to have jobs, and kind of it's a shift. That's kind of political and maybe going into an area that isn't as relevant, but it's about the human need, and it's about connection, and it's about relationships. And I don't mean the goofy ones that you hear about. I mean real ones.
All right, last question. What is your secret?
Don't make it hard. What?
Secret sauce.
My secret.
Your secret sauce. Like, what is Beverly's secret sauce? The thing that you really think has been at the crux of all of your success in life? Love?
Yeah. Everything I've done is because I love someone. And that's led me, and when I say I mean me, this unique person. I always knew it. I always knew that there was something inside of me that was valid, and that I had a way of saying things, and a way of singing, and a way of talking, and a way of walking, and a way of drawing that was important. And that came from, you know, you want to say it's the way you're brought up, but it really wasn't. It really wasn't. It's just I somehow figured out how to
Evolved
locate that.
the way you evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's give it up for Beverly D'Angelo. I would
Hey,
love
thank you very much.
all you
Thanks for
guys.
coming.
Thank you. You guys can take a 10-minute bio break. All of my coaches, come on out this way. Giorgio, Sebastian, Davina, come on this way too, please.